Here I am en route from Fatuhiva in the Marquises to Raiatea in the Tuamotus. For the last couple of days, there's been a whole series of line squalls come through with wind up to about 25 knots and intermittent rain, heavy cloud cover. Back about 1,000 miles to the east of me, there was quite a big storm system went through, generating some of these big waves that you see. Very likely, that's about a 12-footer you're seeing there. And I've seen them occasionally get up to maybe as much as 15 feet when they combine. Otherwise, it's a fairly sunny day. You can see there's still quite a bit of cloud cover. Lots of whitecaps out there. It's blowing about a steady 20 knots, gusting up to about 25. I'm making a pretty consistent 5+ knots with just the Genoa up. And I've got my small storm jib set on the staysail stay and sheeted to windward to help steady the boat. Well, here I am, sailing along once again from Fatuhiva to Rangiroa. I should reach the pass for Rangiroa tomorrow morning's high tide is at 10 a.m. So that's when I want to go through the pass, somewhere between 9 and 11. And this is a very typical, beautiful, beautiful trade winds type of day in the South Pacific. Strangely enough, the wind is from about the east-northeast down here in the heart of the southeast trade winds. But nevertheless, the boat's sailing well. Wind's blowing about 12 knots. Seas are very light. It's a beautiful day. Some cloudiness. The boat's just kind of sliding along here. I got a reef in the main and the Genoa up. Keep the helm balanced for the wind vane. As you can see, generally speaking, just a beautiful day. Sailing along about, maybe 4.5 knots. I'm not in a big rush and will actually have to heave to tonight for some period of time, 6 to 8 hours, I guess, in order to hit the tide at the entrance to the lagoon at the right time, since that's not a passage you ever want to make in the nighttime. Up ahead there, off the port, you can see the break in the reef line. That's Tiputa Pass, the easternmost pass going into the lagoon at Rangiroa. The high tide's at 11 a.m. this morning. It's right now about 9:30 a.m. So I should be catching the pass right at the last of the flood tide, which is pretty safe. Those clouds up there just deposited a light sprinkling on me, but behind me the sky is still pretty clear. Strangely enough, the wind is still from the north-northeast, and I'm sailing about due south. Folks, just about ready to go through. Those two red and white navigation markers over there from a distance almost look like range markers, which would be a bad mistake to make, because you have to come in from the northeast and go to the southwest through the pass to clear. Looks like it's just about exactly slack water. There's not much activity out there. Should be a good safe passage into the lagoon. when I was here the last time, all these fancy navigation markers weren't here. So this makes it a little easier. Here we are inside the lagoon of the Atoll of Rangiroa. As you can see, that boat over there, Saviki, Tom is the owner, fisherman from Alaska with a crew of Justin from Australia and Kamel from France. In the background is the Kia Ora Hotel. As you can see, the water is quite lumpy. Just after sunset last night, a storm blew in from the winds are from the southwest, which is blowing right across the lagoon. So it's been a very bouncy, lumpy night with a little bit of rain. And these wind-driven waves you see here occasionally are to 6 feet, and they are cresting because the water is pretty shallow here. It's only about 40 feet deep. You can get a sense of the motion of the boat, the rocking and the rolling. This happened to me the last time I was here, but it all came at night. Today, with this little storm, the worst of the wind is coming during the daylight hours. So it's not so bad, except it's very uncomfortable, and you dare not leave the boat unattended to go anywhere. Hopefully by sometime today, this mess will blow itself out, and it will the lagoon will return to its normal calm state with the clear waters and calm seas. There's my folding bicycle, an absolute necessity for me to get around. Here's some more shots of this little storm blowing here across the lagoon. Now I'm looking straight out forward of the boat. That's about to the west. The wind is slowly coming around from the west through the southwest. Hopefully by the time it gets down to the south, that will constitute the end of this. You can see the water, the waves are cresting all over, and it's quite cloudy out there, and just had a little light rain sprinkle. There was a big fancy power boat I wanted to show you that was right over there, but while I was unloading the memory from the camera, he must have got his anchor up and moved. Oh yeah, I see him. He's off over that way. You can just see his transom. He's heading away. Also see that great big 3-masted schooner. That's probably some kind of a cruise ship. I imagine they're getting a little more than they expected for sitting out here. Of course, something that big is not going to bounce around too much. It looks like there's another sailboat out there either heading in or heading out. I can't quite tell from this distance. The entrance to the lagoon is back around this way. That's an unattended catamaran. I don't know, somebody on the island must own it or use it. And that's like a big party boat. That's also a twin hull catamaran. You see, that's a little cruiser over there. Somewhat bigger than my boat, probably 35-footer. Light though, you can see he's really bouncing around.